Hey, it's Taylor here. Welcome to the Wealthy Changemaker. Boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries. This is a big topic I hear a lot of people love to have an opinion on, and it's very important for us to create clear boundaries that are in alignment with what we feel is true for us. And that's why I want to talk about boundaries today, is because I know a lot of us are leveling up in career, in new relationships. We're leveling up in our own standards for money and time and hobbies that we really love to do. So that all requires new boundaries, and for us to think about boundaries in a way that's not about shutting other people down, getting other people to be a certain way around us, but that's really about us getting connected to where our power is in the limits to our focus and attention. So before I tell you my definition of boundaries and what really works for me, I want you to ask yourself, what is a boundary for me? Like, how would I define it if I was talking to a friend? This understanding that you're reflecting on right now about boundaries, like, so for me, a boundary is, a clear line of what people can and can't do about me. This is a really common one. When we're clear on what our personal definition of boundaries is, then we can start to work with our relationship to our boundaries rather than try to make something like a system fit that, like, it's, to fit a square into a round peg. That being said, here's a really great definition of boundaries that I use to work. And the secret to boundaries lies in the definition. So this is a two-part definition. First part is that boundaries are a clear limit to our focus and attention. It belongs to us. It's our clear limit to my focus and attention, me, myself, and I. That's part one. This is the more mainstream known part. The second part of boundaries is that my boundaries are to be honored by me, to be respected by me, my standards of engagement, and what's most important to me. I'll say that again. So part two is all about knowing my boundaries are to be respected and honored by me, by my standards of engagement, and by what's most important to me. When I'm clear on what's most important to me, then I can actually create boundaries a lot easier. Now, the trick and the secret to boundaries, and I'm talking about a lot of secrets to boundaries because I think so much of society, we're taught so falsely, we're taught about boundaries in a way that gives our power away. You, Mr. John, cannot say that around me because I feel uncomfortable and that's a bad word, so don't say that around me. Or you need to clean the kitchen in this way so that I feel okay. This is, of course, it seems like the solution in many situations. And I myself have been, every time I'm leveling up, I'll find myself without clear boundaries. And then my power, my energy just leaks out of me and I feel exhausted. I feel angry. I feel enraged. I feel sad. I feel disrespected and I feel alone often when I'm not in a place where I'm respecting my boundaries and honoring them. Or maybe in a place where I'm not even clear on what my boundaries are. Now, when we're talking about boundaries, I want to come back to a really important part of the definition, where I'm talking about standards of engagement. And when we're talking about boundaries, we get to know that what we're actually wanting to spend most of our time on is our standards. What is the common base standard of experience that I'm available for here? Because boundaries and standards are all about what am I available for and what am I not available for. A really easy place to put this into perspective for you is money. I was just doing my high level money standards a few days ago. I was redoing them for a friend who I'm teaching about money. And in that, my high level money standards, I was thinking about, okay, for me, it's a standard that I pay everything on time and that I pay it in full. I love paying things in full and I love paying it before the date. It's just a standard because it's like closing a loop. Whereas when I don't pay it in full or when I don't pay it on time, my energy just kind of leaks out. And so a high level money standard, another one, is that I have a base amount of money in my bank account at all times. I have a base amount in this savings account over here and in this savings account over here. And when I have that base amount, I have a standard that it's there and I don't go under it. And so I'm not thinking, can I pay for this? Can I pay for that? Can I afford to go to this country and do this trip? It's like, I have enough for it. The question is, do I want to go? And another high level money standard is I pay for things I truly want and value. I don't go get, I don't do like fast fashion, because one of my highest values is sustainability and regenerative processes in alignment with the land and the earth. And so another way that I'm in relationship with money is that money gets to reflect my values of sustainability. And that's because I have a standard around it. Boundaries look like, well, they're the things I don't think about as much, but they're the limits when I brush up against them that I know where I get to realign. So I don't pay things late, and I don't pay things like the minimum amount, right? I don't pay things late, and I don't pay the minimum amount. And I don't use the word expensive. These are all boundaries I have for myself. And they're very intentionally designed so that I'm not living and repeating these experiences that I don't want around money. So that's just one example. And because this is the Wealthy Changemaker, of course, money makes a lot of sense to connect on and talk about here. That being said, here's a really simple process to create high-level boundaries and even higher-level standards from where you've ever been before. That looks like a 4-step process. So I'll make it really simple. The first step being, you're going to pick, before you have the step, pick one area of your life. One area of your life that you're up-leveling, that's new for you, that is a specific point and preference area. Of maybe it's career, maybe it's a job specifically, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a partnership, maybe it's love that you want to find. It could be money, it could be health, it could be time and organization. That being said, you pick just one area. In that area, you're going to write down, this is the first part, what is working well? Oh, there's a wasp. What is working well? Once you know what's working well, and you might feel like, oh, there's nothing that's working well, or I haven't done it yet, I don't know what's working well. What is working well is how you feel about it, that feels like it's calling you into it. Perhaps it's, in a relationship, it's like we're on talking every day. We don't have big arguments, but we have contrast in a relationship. Or maybe what is working well is we challenge each other. What is working well is my job is bringing out my curiosity. Or what's working well is my job is paying me and I have money to pay my bills and my desires every month. So write down 2 to 3 things minimum of what's working well. I invite you to go as long as you can. Second step, this is where you get to go haywire and write down everything that's not working well, everything that sucks, everything you don't like, just let it, blurt it, vent it out onto a sheet of paper. So after you've got what's working well, write down what's not working well. This is where you can start to see the contrast of what you get to shift. We're not writing down this vent session so that you can just finish venting and feel better. This is actually a very useful tool to start understanding what do we get to neutralize so that I can get clearer on my standards and boundaries. Now, this is where it gets fun. You've got what's working well and what's not working well. This is where you head into, what is my dream relationship with this area in my life? Right? And the more you know what you don't like, the more you know what you don't like, the more you know what you do like. So you can go to that list of things that you don't like, everything that's not working well, and you can ask yourself, well, if it did work out the way I wanted, what would I truly deeply want here? It might probably be the opposite of everything you wrote down that doesn't work well. So go to your dream relationship, tune into that, give space to it. Maybe it's not a one and done. Maybe you get to check in with this like every day and ask yourself, if I had everything I wanted and everything would work out no matter what do I really want here? Now, the fourth and final part, you get to ask yourself, when I have everything I want, what do I get to let go of? What do I get to release from my life? And this is going to look like beliefs, thoughts, maybe people, maybe things, maybe materials. What do I get to let go of to embody and have my dream relationship? What thought patterns do I no longer get to go into that I'm a victim about? What ideas, I'm poor, I can't get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or I'm not smart enough to have the job I want, or I don't know where to find it. All of these are thought patterns that get to go so that you can embody and live your dream relationship. Yeah, that's good stuff. Really good stuff. So you have your 4 steps. Go and have fun with that. Play with it. Explore where it takes you. And enjoy the possibility that opens up when you're clear on what you don't want and you're even more clear on what you do want. And even just having these thoughts is a privilege and a step forward, whether you do this or not. Everything that I'm speaking about here is planting seeds in your mind and in your brain and your body that's going to allow you to reach for the better feeling thought next time you're in that moment where you feel a boundary is being pressed up against. All right, with so much love and light, let me know what you learned below. Let me know which area you pick to do your boundaries in. And have fun getting connected to your standards, because that is the bulk of the work. If you like this video, please like it below with the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more. All right, I'll catch you later.